We've come back for more of Katawa Shoujo. Current scene, small talk. Let's return. Wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. But this is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around me remind me that, indeed, it's me who's supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake it out a pill, and pop the tablet from the foil sheet. I threw them down with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slick from under my sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh clothes against my back is a good one. A natural one. It feels like the school uniform, as it should. There's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to when I would talk with Kenji yesterday. Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal. I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. Although class and the question remains on my mind. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. Dots. Dots. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Aww! Dots. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hika-chan. At first thought it is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Please. Dots. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe that can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hika-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourishing and starts signing hard and heavy. Dots. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha pumps out her chest and she shouts Shizune's words out with me with disproportionate amounts of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning, looking our direction. Not so loud. Dots. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Dots. Angry dots. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots his pointy glaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off is without a care. Dots. We're in the middle of class and we should start working. Again. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right, Chan. Are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in a group, or no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't she say anything? Hiki-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. Dots. Smiley dots! Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I'd like to go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Smile dots. Yay! Okay, Hiki-chan, perfect. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have time to put any more thought into where we should have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we are only just barely managed to finish all our work in time. I'm glad we finished it all. That's not a contest or anything. Dots. Upset dots. Yes, it is, Hiki-chan. Impossible. Really? Really? I've noticed this before. It's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, she must be so Shizune. It must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking at the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me. But it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing. It'll take some time to get used to. Upset face! It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize, and there's no prize on the line. It's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a contemptive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest here. It's a happy face. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes were. It's truly an alluring gaze. Dots. Are you sure, Hiki-chan? Very sure. Dots? You're wrong, Hiki-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in the ability that the prize is satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes her glasses up on the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings and she quickly gets up and picks her bag up, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Dots. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria. That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. I mean, old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classrooms or outdoors. Some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hiki-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Dots? Right, Hiki-chan. Okay. I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn and face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Hiki-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Hiki-chan? Right. But it seems like they all have the members that possibly can have right now. Sorry, Hiki-chan. It's a really popular club. Smile dots. Okay, but more to the point, Ika-chan, does that mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Doubts. Good, great, that's great. Ika-chan, really great. What? Why is it so great? It's kind of like me in college. I was like, oh, clubs? I'm gonna go join one of those. What one? I don't know. And then I never joined a club. Then I created a club and it was taken from me. It was a sad day. No reason. Well, Ika-chan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there's one other thing. Student council. I see you didn't know the school had a student council. There's no dramatic setup though. It just tells me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion and the manner of speaking. After all, it was still Misha who had to voice whatever she says. Smile dots. Right. Ika-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, you can hang out with us. Hang out every day. Ika-chan, Shiki-chan, and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shiki-chan is the president. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most biased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Dots. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from having you join the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that. I've caught you in your lie. Dots. No, we admit nothing. I mean, Ika-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yep, it's true, Ika-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Ika-chan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if it's just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Well, dots. So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Ika-chan. What? Wait, what? No! Aww, see, Shiki-chan. Of course it wouldn't go so easily. She's confident. Yep, that's right. Although it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shiki-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it. Hey, my life is not a game here. Shuna seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. An aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Dots. That's interesting, Ika-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Ika-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Dots. Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be in the clear disadvantage. So I will have to decline. Oh, Ika-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us? That we would pull something so disingenuous? It makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. Dots. Upset dots. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game we play in America. You make a piece of paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past the goal points the other player makes with their fingertips. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Ika-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shiki-chan. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. Well, like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Ika-chan? Shizune frowned at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with the attempts to get me in the student council, but I'm a little curious what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who's a member of it. It interests me. So I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, and maybe it wouldn't be so bad to bet. Dots. Okay, Chan, how about Risk? A game of world domination. I don't know what that is. I know what Risk is. It's really fun, Hiki-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, come after school. Dots. Ah, really, Shiki-chan? We can play just for fun. Shiki-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hiki-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we kept the game. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more of a show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting them to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class. Whoa, she disappeared! During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha, but I don't want to be too nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha find me at the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. It feels a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? It makes me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. I would love those security guards. What's wrong, Hiki-chan? Dots. Smiley dots. That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. It all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking when we sit down and play a game, they'll time me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting into the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? What makes you guys behind so on top of it? Everything seems a little silly. Dots? That's not true, Hiki-chan. Hiki-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusing to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and pulls her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you can hear me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door in the student council room, and it's very plain. Sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table at the center surrounding by chairs, and small desks prominently placed in the back, I assume is Shizune's. There's a few regular desks and chairs stacked in the side of the wall. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't seem to have much else to offer, just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. You could at least try to put a potted plant in here or something, but the most notable thing in the room doesn't have to be other people. Are we early? Dots. No. What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Smiley dots. Yeah, that's right. Clap. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Dots. Hiki-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know how the rules? We can explain it to you while you set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, it looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long, for her liking, running through the basics with somewhat vague and confusing tutorials, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off on me. I start to feel more competitive than I intended to be. I agreed to this. Halfway in the game, while I tried to ponder how to defeat against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Dots. Upset Dots. Chika-chan wants to know, why are you taking too long to make a move? Chika-chan also says she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought it was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offering means she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Dots. Chika-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who would spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. It seems you take it as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be more magnanimous. She doesn't seem to know what the word means, but sign is she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Dots. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a fury of gestures. Misha looks daunted at the pace of her heated sign. Wait, please slow down, Chika-chan. Hika-chan, Chika-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. Dots. She says you have no chance, and if you keep playing like this, no you wouldn't. Defensively, it's still rolling dice. I've played Risk before. I'm honestly not sure. She was already winning. But she's gonna take Australia, so that means she has plans. She probably has a lot of units lined up, but maybe she doesn't have them right yet. And unless there are transfer cards, then that would make it so that she would have to move all the units one spot at a time. Attack! She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain some small country. No, it's a bad idea. You lose because you don't get the bonuses. If it turns later, I'm losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump her fists in the air in celebration. I let you win. I win! Yay! No, you don't win. She wins. She wins. No need to translate that. It was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hika-chan. You're really giving it your best. That's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well. Someone who just learned how to play today. Smiles. Hika-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Chika-chan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they're daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hika-chan? Dots. That isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point in potential if you don't take the first step. There's no point in that. You're right, Chika-chan, but that's so demanding. Dots. Double dots. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and a lot more serious. Person I expected her to be from the start. Dots. Hika-chan, would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day at school. I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at the other clubs yet, but spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hika-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really. Really? Hika-chan, you're going to say that. You're saying that it's definitely the truth and you can't be any Hika-chan, you're going to say that. You're saying that it's definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles at the mischievous way of feeling. Like, oh my god, that's adorable. Oh, twisted knife wounds of my loss. I take a slight glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I'll have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures to Misha. How can we determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. Dots. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Chiki-chan. Well, I think the library is open. It's on the 2nd floor, don't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. And this is where we'll end the episode, because it's gone a little bit longer than I intended it to. So we'll just save right here. And like and favorite if you enjoy. And thought I was stupid with my choice of risk move. But as always, have a